blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits, some losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip, you choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
What is going on, fam? Welcome back to another episode. My name is TradeFly, bringing you some of the most important market news as well as technical analysis that you can actually use. Hope everyone is doing good out there. Bitcoin sitting at a whopping $69,000, all the way back to those 2021 highs, baby. That being said, we got some stuff to look at on the charts today. All right, I'm going to show you some very key levels. I'm going to show you some opportunities. And I have been scalping my little heart out. All right, I have been scalping. We're going to go through that. We're going to go through that a little bit. I give you guys a sauce. That's how I roll here. So stay tuned. All right, I'm going to show you how I'm doing it. I've won the last 7 out of 10 trades that I've been scalping. I'll show you guys that. I got proof in the pudding. Always open and transparent here on this channel. So that being said, let's say what's up to the homies in the chat real quick. I think it's a short list today. All good, all good. Let's say what's up to my man, Infinite Team TA. How you doing, bro? Good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being here. Alexandra G, the best mod in all of the space. Good to see you as well, lady. Thank you for being here. All right, let's go ahead and get it going over to the crypto bubbles. You know it. It is red AF out there. We do have some diverging from the market, we'll say. Pippin is up 40.2% and Stable is up 23.3%. Other than that, no crazy movers. Anything getting hit to the downside. MYX is down 11.6. Jupe is down 8.2. Pump down 6.7. IP down 7.1. Everything else, you know, kind of average 4 or 5% in the negative. So kind of following along with Bitcoin right now. No big surprises there. Let's go over to the total market cap, sitting at 2.35 trillion. That is down 2.66% over the last 24 hours. Fear and greed index is at extreme fear. That is at 10. That is one of the lowest numbers I have ever seen, to be honest with you. All right, Bitcoin at 68,949, down 2.65%. Ethereum is holding at about 2,000. That is down 5.29%. Bitcoin dominance 58.8%. So status quo since the last time we've actually spoke. Hasn't been a big move. I think it was 58.9%. So if you guys are in altcoins, you don't have to tuck your head between your legs too quickly. It's trying to hold. It is trying to hold. Let's see. What else do we have here? I guess I usually look at the altcoin season 27. We already know it's not beautiful out there, but that is okay. All right. Let's see here. We usually do the daily degen where I give you guys the opportunity to vote, but I want to keep it available right now. I don't want to get into a position. We will go and look at it real quick. I think you guys are, it looks like 80% doom right now. You guys are looking for a little downside potential. Let's go over to the order book. Let's see what the order book is saying here, because we are at the VWAP. Wop, 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 wop. All right, so into the VWAP, you can see a little horizontal here. All right, resistance, and you would be at potentially support, kind of aligns, come back left on the chart. You see that as well. So there is opportunity at a high volume area node right here where we're at. Time now coming over to the CVD. All right, that is the cumulative volume delta right now. That is kind of on the upslope. All right, so I wouldn't mess with that. You got the OI kind of trending to the downside. Putting that together, it's not something that I would be willing to take. What I would like to see here is more of a pullback in CVD. All right, you want to see that kind of break the trend here. It's pretty close. It's pretty close. You want to see that trending to the downside though. That will let you know that more shorts are coming into the market. And this is telling you, hey, are they opening or closing? So right now they are closing. All right, so that is not actually, if you're looking to take a short right now, probably not the jam, right? Again, CVD still trending up. So we'll kind of hold off on that, but I got your guys' votes in. It looks like you are 100% doom right now. But we're gonna hold off. We're gonna hold off. We might actually take a trade today. If it's available, we're gonna take it. All right. So let's go ahead and do it that way. Economic calendar, keep it quick here. Retail sales month over month, 0. Consensus was 0.4%. Forecast was 0.4. We got non-farm payrolls. Unemployment rate, that is going to be tomorrow on the 11th. Thursday, you got existing home sales. And Friday, a biggie, you got core inflation rate month over month and year over year. So pay attention to that. Not going to deep dive what it is, what it does. Just understand that it could create some volatility in the market. Friday is going to be a biggie. And actually tomorrow will probably be a day that could move the market a bit as well. So pay attention. All right. Pay attention. Be on high alert. Let's go over to the chart itself. We'll do a quick top down. All right, looking at Bitcoin, we are still under that very key level of 72,000. I think about 72 to 74 for a multitude of reasons. There's liquidity up there. There's a horizontal that's very, very strong as well. But I think even the 50 is now starting. Let's go ahead and bring that up real quick. Look at the moving averages on, I think it's the 4 hour. That's actually, yep. Yeah, 50 is coming down at intersecting level as well. So adding a little bit of resistance there. You also have, it looks like, the golden pocket on a Fibonacci retracement level there as well, all aligning 72 to 74. So again, there's a lot going on in that level right now. I will be honest with you, one of the things that I'm looking for personally with a big move down like that would be a relief rally back up to that level, clearing out the liquidity and then a potential rejection. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. And it's all good if that doesn't play out, right? You can call me a big dum-dum, that's cool. I'm all for it. But what I'm gonna be looking for here, let's say we come back up, we clear out what liquidity is up there, and then we push back down. We get a nasty wick, right? Get a nasty wick into the zone, come back down, reestablish the range. I'm thinking short. I am definitely gonna be thinking short. Now, 2 ways to play it. I know, as always, it can go up, it can go down. Yes, you are correct. You do have high volume node there as well. But the way I'm looking at that, right? Like if you get a nasty wick, you see that selling pressure coming in. If you're looking at the order book, if you're looking at CVD, OI, all that stuff's pointing to the downside, right? Then the statistical probability would say it's probably gonna go to the downside. So, hey, we get that wick, all those things align. Hey, we're looking for a potential trade here. I think you can go, let's see, what can you realistically get? That might be kind of a tight one. You give yourself a little slop there. I think you can give yourself a little slop. What would you go if you just went to the bottom of the range there? That'd be a 5. That would be a 4.56. I like that, to be honest with you. So this could have some potential right here. This would take the liquidity. It would get you into the golden pocket. So you have a technical reason to see a rejection out of that level. All right, liquidity. You got key already a very clear horizontal. You go into the golden pocket. So that's things are lining, right? When say, hey, there's some confluence in here, you got a high volume area node, right? Little gap there. So you could see a rejection out of that level. And then again, if you reestablish below, if you come back down into this range, we're looking at a potential short here. I think that that's probably a nice little setup. Now, what do you do when you're thinking about actually ordering or getting into that position? I want you to come over to one of these terminals, the order books, and look at the order flow. All right, looking at the order flow, what you want to do just as like your trigger, right? Like and this kind of gets into some of the scalp trades that I'm taking. So I'm giving you the sauce right now, right here. Like there's no gotchas. There's nothing here. Like I'm just gonna give you the sauce. So my trigger, once I see that interaction, right? I see the price go through that key level. I see it starting to come in. I see some selling pressure. I see some volume, and then I'm just gonna quickly come down to the CVD open interest, and I'm gonna see what those guys are doing. Now, let me kind of explain to you what I have kind of noticed, all right? What I have noticed is that when you see CVD pull back and you see the open interest start to pull back a little bit as well, actually ends up being a pretty good time. And what's happening right there is that they're closing those shorts, right? And you're seeing, or not closing the shorts, they are covering the shorts. But then you're seeing people start to position themselves in the shorts, right? So that's kind of what happens. And what you would expect to see when you have a larger move, like one with a lot of conviction, is you'll actually see the open interest spike in conjunction with seeing that CVD go down, right? So open interest will actually go up. You'll see a divergence, and the CVD will actually go down, saying that shorts are now piling into that position, right? That gives you extra ammo. That's like fuel to the fire. That's saying, hey, I'm definitely good on this one, and you can take it down to a prominent level because you got some momentum behind you. But I will say that a lot of the positions that I've gotten into recently, open interest has just been trending down as it's gone into a key level. My man, Alex O, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. Much love, homie. And we are going to be seeing each other soon. Looking forward to that. You guys will, you'll get some pictures, no doubt about it. Me and Alex O, man, we're going to hit the golf courses. He's coming out to Cali, baby. Let's go. I'm psyched, man. I'm psyched. All right, here we go. Let's see who's in the chat right now. We got Mark Dutch in here. Who is the sexiest flying trader? Google sent me here. My man. My man. We got Rashad in the chat. Yo, what up to you, dude? Hope all is well with you. Got Black at Chan. TradeFly, more like Sleepy Fly. Come on now. I don't need to sleep. I'm just making that money. All right, let's go. All sets in here. How you doing? Danny Quest. What up, bro? Good to see you. That's my dude in real life. Hope all is well. LFG. Let's go. All right. So yeah, like I said, I'm giving you the sauce here. All you got to do is just come on over and watch. So, let's keep it looking. Let's go back over to the charts. Let's go over to the charts. Let's talk about a little bit about this. Where do you get these at, right? Because I see this question coming up more and more and more. Alex O has an affiliate link with those guys. Maybe one day I will too. You know, maybe one day when I'm the scalp, I won't say king. Maybe I'm a jack. Maybe I'll be, the ace. I mean, that's flying related. The scalp ace. Maybe I'll do that. All right, but anyways, use Alex O's. He's got a link for the pro, but I use the free version, and the free version is good enough for me. The limitation there is you can only go to the 5 minute, and it's just like TradingView. You only get a set amount of indicators you can use. But for me, I only need open interest, CVD. I do look at the DOM. The DOM's kind of nice, only because you can see kind of where those trades are in a more finite detail. Looks like you guys went doom, and you're getting it. You are getting it right now. Anyways, you do have the DOM, right? And that'll tell you kind of some of the smaller trades. You'll see kind of order blocks where the trades are. But a lot of times what you will see too is that it's literally on either side of the price action. So like sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's not. When you get some of the bigger asks in the bids, that's when it does become helpful, because you will see a very prominent ask or prominent bid at a level that's like 500 or above, those usually have a, they usually definitely have an impact on the price action. And I will show you an example of that today. So I was looking at this area. Sorry, I like to put these boxes on here. Why do I put the boxes on there? It just helps me identify the trends a little bit better over a certain time frame. But anyways, what I was looking at, and I put this out on X today, was two very distinct order blocks on either side of the price action. Now you guys can guess what's up here too, right? Right above the high. What's there? I bet you guys can guess. Liquidity, baby. Liquidity sitting up there. He's ready to get touched in all the wrong places. Liquidity just waiting for you. But it came up. But the other thing is that you had an order block up there as well. All right, a pretty significant order block. I believe at the time it was about 600. That got filled. So when that got filled, then you're looking for a little bit of a pullback. And let's go to the 1 minute here. You're looking for a little pullback on the CVD. All right, so there you go. Bada bing, bada boom, right? Little pullback on the CVD. Open interest. Which, of course, it's not loading right now, but I'm gonna imagine that kind of pulled back too. Yeah, see, this is again kind of talking about the CVD or the open interest. I keep seeing it trend down along with the CVD. Open interest and CVD trending down has been the majority of the trades that I've taken, even though it's counterintuitive to the way you would really like to see, because you would like to see open interest continue to go to the upside. That gives you a real, and I've seen that a couple times. And when I have seen it, it has been a pretty gnarly move. You just got to go back left on the chart to find those instances. But here or there, order block got filled, right? That came off the books, and down we go. CVD, OI, it all was trending in the same direction. That gave me conviction to get behind it and take a nice little scalp trade. And we will look at the proof in the pudding here. Let's go over to that. Here is a list of my trades, right? So I'm trying to do my best Alex O impersonation here. Not using as much capital, obviously, but I'm typically, looking at risking between $100 to $300. That's usually kind of where I'm at, right? So it's not bad. So right now you can see this one, this was $200 and some in the bag right there for the day. You can see all the fees and all that good stuff. I get a lot of that back. That is a benefit of being a content creator. Little known fact is that we do get some of the fees back. Real talk. So that's why I pass those down to you guys. All right, so 7 out of 10. 7 out of the last 10, but yeah, this was the one right here. So you can see that one. 1.7%. Nothing too much to write home about, but when it comes down to it, 200 and about $30, right? So just scalping away, man. And right now, like, I'm in that time of like, I'm not a scalper, and you guys know I'm not a scalper. I'm an intraday kind of guy, right? I like doing intraday trading. So while I don't know if I'm going to say in the learning, I would still say the learning phase, right? I'm not using a crazy amount of capital to trade with, right? I don't want to get upside down. I don't want to blow up my account that I've worked hard to get up 20% just by scalping. I'm up, $468 in the last 24 hours, I'm still trying to be relatively smart about it and risk what I'm comfortable with. And one of the things that's been really nice as well is when I'm getting into these scalp trades, what I'm doing is like, hey, like if I'm above the high, like I'm putting the stop loss there, and I'm usually finding VWAP, or I'm usually finding a high volume node, and that's where I'm putting the TP, and I walk away and I go hang out with the kiddo, which doesn't make much sense, right? It's a little bit different of a way than the way Alex gets into the trades, or really how he exits the trades is vastly different than the way I'm doing it. All right, I find my levels. I like my level. I haven't even really, I've adjusted the stop loss. I'll bring that to entry if I have broken another level, if that makes sense. So if I have something in between me and where I'm getting out, let's just say for instance that I got in right here, which actually I did. Stop loss would be right above that wick. Got it. But let's say I break this level right here. All right. Now this is just kind of going back and like walking through my mindset. Let's say I break this level here. All All right, then I'd be comfortable with bringing my stop loss to entry. But I've seen too many times, like this one right here, this came back to entry right here. So I think I was already in the trade at this point. This literally came right back to where I entered and would have stopped me out. All right, and I've learned that lesson the hard way a couple times already. Two of my trades that I lost were actually stops where I was too aggressive with my stop, and I was like moving it up a little bit and like messing with it. And I was like, you know what? Had I not touched my stop, I would not have gotten stopped out, and I would have had 2 more wins on the books. So today I learned my lesson and I just left it. All right. If I had conviction to get into it, if I had conviction to take that play, then it should leave it. Right? Leave it there. And until you break another level where you have like a support area or resistance or whatever the case may be, VWAP, say you get an impulse move through VWAP, like, all right, cool. Like, and then you might be cool with just taking it to entry. What I like to do is lock in the fees too. So I'll look and be like, hey, what are my fees for this trade? If they're $120, I'll lock in that 120. All right, cool. Let's go back to the charts real quick. Gave you a potential short setup here, and I'm gonna go ahead and take a picture of that. I've kind of been slacking on putting in some of these intraday type setups. Let's go ahead and download that one. I'll put that in the Discord. If you guys don't know too, I'm gonna be shifting a lot of my stuff over to AlexO's Discord as well. So you do need to be part of the brigade, so that will mean you'll have to go through an affiliate link to get access to my stuff within his Discord. And I'll also be pushing out an affiliate link for the Discord as well, so you can get the premium for his Discord. Obviously, you have to pay for the premium, but here nor there. He has one of the best Discords around. There's no fighting it. He's dude, it's legit. It's legit. He has some of the best analysts in there, and he's just really providing a lot of value, and I believe in that. And he's a friend, so why keep fighting, for the same people? It's silliness, I think. So anyways, got that set up. Let's see here. Let's look at I don't think we look at the liquidation heat map. There you go. So you have some liquidity sitting around 70K. We did reach up and touch some of that. 70K. Let's go back to the chart real quick. How does that align with anything? And nothing too crazy, honestly, but you could get a nice push up. Let's get rid of this now. We already got a picture of it. Look at this. You got a little high volume node right there. Let's go ahead and mark that real quick. So high volume node, what's that put you at? About 7390, 7300. Let's 70,300 ish. Interesting. Let's put a little trend line right there. Shift, boom. Okay. So we know we got liquidity sitting at 70K, and you have a high volume area node. That might set you up for a short as well. Yes, my bias is towards shorts right now, just because, ultimately the trend is still relatively down. It's biting right now, but you are now starting to see a little bit of downside pressure again, unfortunately. So you got a nice little relief rally. People became exit liquidity, all that good stuff, shorts covering, all that fun stuff. But yeah, you could get a 2-to-1. Problem is that high volume area node, that scares me a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you. But if you get to kind of the bottom of the price action right here, you're following the trend. Man, that one's tough. That one is tough. I don't know if that's one I would necessarily want to jump on. I would have to think long and hard about that. That might turn in more of a scalp there, right? Well, depends on how you adjust, because that kind of changes where your node is. Interesting. Did I put it too high? I put it too high. That's me for being a dummy. Because liquidity is at 70, which would tighten this up quite a bit. Your high volume node is right there. So this would be more, I don't know, I'll say scalp-esque. Yeah, 2-to-1 is there. There you go. I like that better. 2-to-1 is there. You don't have a lot of room for error there, right? 0.43%. I know that, a lot of times When Alex is doing his, he was, or at least what he used to do was the 0.3% was the drawdown he was willing to accept. So that's where he would put the stop loss, looking for about a 1% move, which is right there, man. 1%. So that aligns. That aligns pretty decently. It's not perfect. It's not the 0.3 to 1, but it's 0.4 to 1, 1.1. That may not be bad, honestly. Let's take another picture. Could be an opportunity there. So we got a picture of that. All right, looks like it's still pushing down a little bit here. Let's look at USDT dominance real quick. See what that's showing us. That thing had a crazy push up. Looks like it's kind of getting a little push right now, isn't it? Not ideal, but you do have a high volume area node. Eesh. Yeah, that's not the best. Not the best. Just trying to look at the horizontals here. You're kind of right on it, honestly. You see both support and resistance. Just kind of breaking up the price action. It's one of the things I like to do. You have another one down here as well, but you see a little bit of volume right in that area. Let's do a fib retracement. Low to high. Right at the 0.382. Imagine that. How many times have we talked about that? Yeah, you got volume. 0.382, bullish continuation. That's not really what you want to see to be realsies. Look at total market cap here. I know we talked extensively about the 2.5 area and all the way down to about 2 trillion, 2.2, I believe. And it came right down to the golden pocket there, so that's cool. Got at least some love, but look, working its way back down. We got a high volume area node right there at about 2.4. Coming back left on the charts, just kind of looking at some of the horizontals here. You got support, resistance, impulse move through, support. So right in here, it makes a lot of sense to see some volume. But that, that's going to be tough sledding. Tough sledding in terms of, just pushing right through, because you have had previous price action at that level. Right about here. About 2.4. I mean, that's pretty clear. Pretty clear. And a high volume. Yeah, so 2.4 is going to be tough sledding for the total market cap. Right now would not. Man, that's kind of tough. That is kind of tough to be a realsies. All right, that's on the daily. Let's go like a 4 hour, see what that looks like. Came up to the golden pocket, fib retracement, rejection, all aligns, high volume, and everything else we've already spoke about. So on the 4 hour, you do have the high volume area node as well. Let me look at the moving average ribbon. Yep, you got the 50 right above you. It's not ideal, right? So it looks to be a little bit of confluence there between the charts, between USDT dominance, total market cap. I would say doesn't look all that great, to be honest with you. Ladder. What up, JR? Good to see you in the chat, man. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I mean, that is one thing I'm doing. I've been pretty verbal about that. I am laddering into a position on Bitcoin just through the end of the year here, through Q3. Just following the 4-year cycle. I am laddering to some other positions as well. Let's go back to Biddy, because I'm honestly interested in trades. right, let's go down some lower time frames. Should have took the short. You guys were calling doom. So what were we sitting at? We were sitting at VWAP, right? We're pretty close to it. Nah, we were under. We're about right here, right at the high volume area node. Let's see what we're doing here. All right, so you're seeing a little bit of a correlation between price action as well as CBD open interest. Open interest is starting to look like it's rounding out just a bit there. Let's go to the Market Monkey terminal. Yep, looks like it's rounding out here on open interest as well. CBD still mostly trending to the downside, but it is starting to try to build a little bit of momentum to the upside, but it's struggling right now. I'll be honest with you. You know, I might kind of chill, but I would keep an eye on this zone down here because you can see orders on the books, right? That's a big order. Where did that come from? 2.96K. What do we got here? So we got a pretty significant order right here at 68,210. Okay. All right, now I'm intrigued. Okay. So, let's just call it 68,250 for government work. Let's mark that on the charts. 68,250. And that's going to be right below the 0.786. Let's say 250. Oh, wrong one. Oh, I closed one of them, of course. Yeah, 250. Okay, so we've got that mark now. And then let's look at the liquidity. Let's go on the daily. And you got liquidity down at 67.75. All right, 67.75. Right underneath that order. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be close enough, to be honest. Because that's down at the bottom of the orb. That's a significant order that's on the books right now. Yeah, there's not going to be a ton of liquidity down there. I mean, this is why there's liquidity down here, because you can see right here, that's when the New York session opened. Looks like it came down. Yeah, so there's a big dip. New York session open, so left a lot of liquidity down here. Makes a lot of sense. So anybody that, like, I've heard a couple times, like, they're talking about this being Mickey Mouse shit, the heat map, but it's just an aggregate. Like, I don't know why people talking smack, right? Like, that makes sense. 67,800 to see liquidity. If you go to the chart, right here, 67,790, 780, like, that makes a lot of sense. That liquidity would be below the swing low. It makes a ton of sense. So, I don't know what people are talking about. It's just visual, right? Like, when you're doing a show and you're doing analysis and you're trying to show people where things are, how easy is this? To be like, look, there you go. Hotspot. Whatever. Anyways, you got a pretty big order down here. So this might be one of those times. If you see price action come down, I don't know if this is going to happen. It could happen during the show. But if it comes down, right, I would be looking for a potential bounce out of there. What I would like to see, though, is a continuation in CBD. And I would like to see open interest, either horizontal or up. If I get one of those two, and then I get confluence here, and then once we come down to test this order block, then there could be an opportunity here to see a bounce. Now, it's determining where can we go. The scary part is you do have a high volume area right here. It does align with some horizontal support that we had previously. I would be more apt to say we retest the bottom of the range here. But let's see. Let's see what that would kind of measure out to. So to here is only 0.36%, and to the bottom of the range is about 0.65. That might be worth a play if you think it's going to go to 0.65. It's just this high volume area I don't particularly like, but this is derived from price action that's all the way over here as well. All right, so just understanding that, like, it's not like, hey, we fell through the zone and this built up. This is already built up from a price that's over here. Here comes the move down. This could get interesting already. Let's go ahead and close out some of these charts here. I'm gonna bring back up this is like Kayatoka or Taka or something like that. It's bananas. I can close this one. There we go. Let's bring this up. So this is another free order flow that you guys can use. Order flow, I don't know if they're called books, terminals, whatever. But I do like this one as well. A little bit more visually appealing. And you can go to lower time frames, which is kind of nice. But what I'm looking for is confluence between, oh, that's got a 3,000 on this one. This is the aggregate, so it's pulling from more of the exchanges. And that's all I really did up here. That was an order book play, like where I saw an order block play, right? Order block, got my trend. I was like, yep, go time. I understand I don't get to see much of this, right? Like I only get that initial first little bit of the move, and I got to make a decision, right? I don't get to see the full extent of this. And this is, I will say, one of the most deceiving things about like content creators, especially traders, is that the perception is when they go back and they look at the stuff in hindsight, is they will talk, and I'm guilty. Let me own it first. Like, I'm guilty. You have the benefit of seeing this whole period of the move, right? You'd be like, yeah, look at this, like, look at this. But the thing is, as a trader, when you guys are trading, that's not realistic. Because what you're really seeing is, let me see here. Okay. All you're probably seeing is this right here. This is your decision point. I'll take it up a little bit. That's why I've been doing these boxes too. So what I'm taking is the high and the low. And what that does is gives me a little bit more clarity in the trend. Here you go. Here's some sauce. Right? Gives you a little clarity in the trend, right? You can see it started here and it ended here. And same thing for open interest. Started there, ended here. Okay, so you do see the trend, right? There's a small trend that it's starting to go to the downside. Let's go up, because that's all you have to work with right here. From here to here is your time to figure out if you're going to get into a position. That was a whopping 8 minutes, and I may have gotten into it earlier than that. Let's go back to the price action here. Did it just like disappear on me? There we go. All right. There you go. Yeah, so I got into it, right in this area. And this is what I was talking about. Like, it came back up to my entry, right? Would have stopped me out. Even though we had to move down, if I would have gotten my stop loss to entry too quickly, it would have stopped me out. and I wouldn't have caught this. Now, as you see this continue to work its way down, right, that gives you more confidence. Then you get the full scope. You're already in the trade. You see a continuation. You're like, okay, I'm good. I'm feeling good about, the position that I'm in. Alexander G, thank you very much for the memberships. Let's see who got them. JR got them. Hell yeah. We got Misanthropic. How you doing? I think you're a lurker. Who else? We got RPCSZ6899. We got Rondot Mouth. Run that mouth. That's Run that mouth. I figured it out. Run that mouth. How you doing? I got a membership as well. And then of course, my dude, Anthony Soprano. Nice to see it. Thank you, Alexander G. Much love to you. All right, username in the house. What up, bro? Good to see you, man. Hope all is well with you. So anyways, keeping it real, right? Like that's one of the biggest things is understanding like this, that's all you see there. That's all you have to formulate of whether you're going to take a position or not. It's not easy. Right? Now it's getting a little bit of a bounce. But again, I'm waiting for this. It may not. So one thing that'll happen sometimes is you'll see that they'll defend a position. It gets really close to these orders, and then the orders get defended. Or people front run them. Now, stuff like this can also be used to manipulate the market as well. Market makers will do that. But I don't think that that's the case here. So a lot of times you'll see more so on Market Monkey Terminal, is that these will be bouncing all over the place like that. It'll come on, it'll go off. Now that's a matter of it hitting the threshold, but you'll see them move as well. That's spoofing. Okay, so that can get a little bit weird. I think they're just trying to manipulate the price a little bit, make you, like they'll put one above the price action right here, and then you'll be like, oh man, it's gonna reject and it's gonna go down, and then all of a sudden, as soon as price gets up to it, they pull it off, and then price pumps right through it. So that's something that you got to pay attention to. That's called spoofing. It is something that unfortunately you'll have to deal with when using these these order flow books or the terminals here. But yeah, man, I like this area. I mean, 3K Bitcoin order sitting right there. The other thing that I've noticed too, when you get these large order fills, like if it actually fills that order, is that you'll see them ride the price up. They'll literally keep putting orders underneath of it. And as price works up, they're riding it up with orders. Like, it's not really pushing the order, but it's like they're trying, I think, to kind of ensure that price action goes in the appropriate direction that they want. And so they'll literally just keep putting these orders right underneath the price action. And sure enough, man, price action will continue in the direction it was going. I've noticed that as well. The more that I've kind of watched these and started to get a little bit more in tune with what's going on. All right, price action is not price action, but CBD starting to work its way up a little bit. It's kind of cool to see because if you get a divergence, like I said, this would be ideal. That would be ideal. That CBD continues up and you get a divergence in price. Price comes down, hits this order. That would be something that I'm excited to see. That's, like I said, it's a pretty significant order. I think the highest one I've seen today, or even in the last week, was only like 24 or 2,500. So come on down to Papa. We are awaiting. We are awaiting. So this is an aggregate, right? CVD. You can see it looks a little bit different than Market Monkey Terminal. Why is that? Well, Market Monkey Terminal is only using Binance futures. All right, this is all Binance futures. Now, they do have the ability to use more. Again, I think it's a limitation of me, me using the free stuff. So I can only use Binance. But, I just kind of bounce back and forth. One's, I think, the 5 minute. This one's the 1 minute. the thing that I like is that it's kind of weird, but I feel like the CVD just seems to be, well, the 5 minute, there's less junk anyways. It's not smoothed out in terms of the line, but it is a little bit more smoothed out in terms of kind of, how it goes up and down on the 5 minute. But we got the House of Trades in here. What up, dude? Good to see you, man. Hope all is well with you. Aze Nagama. What is it? Nagamase? Nagamase. Market moving slowly. It is right now. We got a little action earlier. I was waiting for that. If you guys don't have me on X, definitely check out my X account. This is definitely something I was looking at. And I said, hey, like these two areas right here, we can take a look at it. Why not? What else we got to do? Go to the account here. Here you go. All right. So I said BTC is a tight little range right now. Looking for some action around the green arrows. Right? Right here. Why? Because I saw a pretty significant order block right there. Price action was not there yet. Right? It was not there yet. Once we did interact with that level though, we did get price action. We got some movement. Right? And then so what I say I was waiting for. I was waiting for the CVD. Because right there it was going horizontal. So it did ultimately push up with the price a little bit, but again, it started to round over. And that's kind of the trigger for me. Ain't no kind of. It is the trigger for me. All right. We had an order block. CVD started going down. Open interest started going down. Pull the trigger. Let's go. Game time. Now it's just a matter of figuring out where you're going to get out. For me, in that case, I think I was looking at VWAP, where I was looking at a high volume area node. I had 2 trades today. I can't remember which was which, but that's all I was really looking at. Quick, in, out, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It's scalping. I was in that trade, I think, for 8 minutes total. House of Trades, my man, thank you very much. I appreciate you. You do not have to do that, my guy. See a lot of great people here in the chat. Love the show at TradeFly. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you, man. I appreciate that very, very much. It means a lot. Now, House of Trades, man, he's putting out some trades too. Like, if you guys haven't looked at his content, at least he's got a Discord, so check him out, man. He's putting out some good trades. He's also works with Weeks, so if you guys are looking for any affiliate links, if you guys are content creators, check him out. He's a good dude. I think they're I won't talk about that. I'll let him talk about that, but they could be they might be on the verge of something here. Sounds cool. That's what we'll say. He knows what I'm talking about. All right, zoom back out on Bitcoin here. You are coming back up to the high volume area, 0.66. Got it. Let's see here. Man, it would be nice if you saw something like this. They'll push up. Let's get it right here. Up, and then come down and get that order block. That would be dope. And then it's a matter of where do we go back up to. But you do have a lot going on down here. The problem is this is one of those times, there's been a lot of times where I'm looking at liquidity, right? And this is why I like the full scope, taking it in, getting a little more seasoned. You're looking at the liquidity and you come down, it comes all the way down to liquidity. It might touch dip its toes in there. I was like, why did it only dip its toes? Why didn't it take all the liquidity, right? Like sometimes these hot spots are a lot bigger, like this, and it's like it just comes in and just gets a little eensy weensy piece of it. Like why did it do that? Well, a lot of times what you'll notice is that the orders that are on the books coincide with the liquidity, right? The liquidation events, and so there's no room for it to push through and take the rest of the liquidity because the orders that are on the books are either buy side if it's down here or sell side pressure, and it's pushing the price once it gets up there. And that's why a lot of times you'll see where it just kind of dips its toes. It doesn't take all of it. So that's something I've kind of learned over probably the course of the last month or so. There was always that, like, man, you would think, because a lot of times I was looking at this and I was like, hey, I got support, I got resistance in these levels, I got liquidity, and I was kind of slow because I was like, man, I was expecting it to take more of that, right? I want to see, remember, I want to see all this liquidity off the table before I take a position. And you may not always get that because you have those orders. So that's something that's really key to this. Yeah, it comes up and takes some liquidity, but they might be happy with taking half of that liquidity. You're talking about millions of dollars, $70 million, $80 million, maybe $100 million. They take all out of the market, and then there's orders already sitting there waiting because people are smart enough to see that, right? There's a lot of smart traders who are like, all right, cool. Like, my entry is your stop loss. Where's your stop loss? What's right here? Duh. Your stop loss is right there. So they're just going to put their orders there. All right. Coming back over this. It's kind of lame right now. Not doing much. Really want to see that push down. Look, they're already reducing some of the order here. Oh, there's your 3.9. They take it off. They moved it up. They want this. Somebody wants this. Because you had it here. Look at this. They're progressively moving it up. They want to get filled. This is interesting. This is actually interesting. It's not bouncing around. They're progressively moving it up. They're anxious. Huh. I haven't seen that very often either, to be honest. A lot of times people are a lot more measured. And they put it on, and you'll see a long-standing, order that stays on the books for, like this. This right here. When you see larger orders, and this isn't even, like, this is, what? I mean, four times what this is. But when you see the larger orders, the pink ones, like that, usually you'll see that stay on for a long time. This is interesting because they're like saying, no, I want to get in. I want me some Bitcoin. And it's like they're being aggressive. Huh. All right, man. Hopefully we can have some fun here today. Uh-oh. Mark found him a European friend. So this is where I was looking originally. Where's that? 6, 7. Oh, God. I did not just say that. I did not. All right, 6, 7, 8. So it does. It's been ruined. Can't even count anymore. I was saying 6, 7. My daughter would be laughing. Yeah, I was looking down here, but I mean, seeing these orders kind of step up, I mean, that's, like I said, if we can get price action down, CBD up, open interest up. Look, open interest, you see I said it started rounding? Look, now you're starting to get a little bit of a move. You're starting to see a little trend up on the open interest. So you're going to see it come back down a little. But the key thing is here, let's go ahead and tighten these boxes up. All right, let's get rid of them. Let's tighten it up because now we're starting to get into, are we going to take a scalp trade? Are we interested in a scalp trade? So again, what I like to do, I'm just taking the low, the high, and then we'll just pull it out just a bit. Okay. And then we'll just align the boxes. So low, high, bring it out. There you go. And again, this is just going to help you identify the trend. You guys do your own thing, up to you. It's just what I've been doing. Seems to be working for me. But right now we can see what? We can see very clearly, slowly, that CBD ultimately is still trending to the upside. Even though price action is starting to pull back, that's a divergence. That's okay. And what did I say I would like to see? I would love to see a divergence where the price action comes down, fills these orders as CBD is going up, and open interest is showing me a trend up as well. right? Ultimately, that's what we're seeing. To a lesser extent on CVD, but still. There you go. Now, scary part is if you're looking at the volume, ain't diggity. All right, here we go. Get some of that old stuff in there. All right, cool. You got some volume there. If you get some of the old stuff in there. But like if it was just this right here, there's nothing there. Let's get some of the old stuff in. There you go. So yeah, you got some volume if you take this whole range into account. Let's go to the 5 minute real quick. Let's do a fixed range volume profile. Let's see if it has. I haven't used that on here before, but I'm sure it's there. Fibs, yeah, you got those. Nope, you ain't got a fixed range. Good. I'm gonna have to write the developers. What are you doing with your life? You don't have a fixed range volume profile. Frankie would never use this. Moonshine, what up? How you doing? Yeah, all good, all good. We got Archbishop in the house. What up to you, man? Good to see you. Just chilling, just waiting patiently. That's kind of the game. We got a big order on the books, man. That's kind of what we've been waiting for. You know, there's still got to be a little patience in trading. Unfortunately, we can't just jump in for funsies. But yeah, there's a nice order on the books right now, sitting at about 2.3K. And looking at CVD, wanting to see that trend continue to the upside. Looking at open interest, want to see that trend continue to the upside. And if we get a little reaction out of that, we'll probably jump on something. If it happens here in the next, I don't know, we'll say 10 minutes or so. All right, guys, let me know if it starts falling. We'll look at some other stuff real quick. Let's look at Ethereum just real quick. I haven't really looked at that very much here recently. Sitting at a high volume area node right now. Let's get the rest of the price action in there. Let's go to a little bit larger time frames. We'll look at the 4 hour. All right, that's not happening anytime soon. Reject it right off the 618. Imagine that. That's just a fib. Well, where did they pull that fib from? It looks like here. So this high right here to the low. That's where your golden pocket came in at, and had a high volume area node, and you had a horizontal level that I know that I've looked at before, because that's why I have this little gold box here. There you go. Yeah, it's just a horizontal. Very clear. I mean, that is super clear. Man, that was a nice little rejection out of that area. I guess I was sleeping on that one. Man. That would have been a nice trade. Did that happen today? 0.9, that was yesterday. Golly. That's a beaut. Coming up to the 618 horizontal, high volume area. Man. I'll be honest, guys. I have not been looking at many assets recently because I've been so ingrained in just scalping and kind of perfecting that. Nice little 6% move. I don't think I really would have played it all the way down there to be real. Probably right here would have been as far as I would have took it, just based on the lows. Yeah, I was sleeping on that one. Sleep at the wheel. Sleep at the wheel, fam. All good. Let's see. Let's look at the little Tesla real quick. Okay. And look at that. Look at that. I remember talking about this. Damn. Hey. Was anybody listening? Was anybody listening? I remember talking about this. We had this ascending level of support. Had a break of structure there coming down to the 0.382. What? Bullish continuation. Looking for a bounce out of that area. Had a nice little horizontal there. Pretty prominent horizontal as well. Boom. Now you're coming back up to that trend line as well as a high volume area. Man, that would have been a beaut. I don't trade stocks all that often. 8%. Real talk, would not have taken it that far. I would have only been looking at probably about 5. Only because I'm looking at horizontals. I like to have a defined exit. I don't like to just go by the seat of my pants. Right? Like if I'm looking at a horizontal to get in, why would I be looking at a horizontal to get out? I mean, sometimes I'll get out moving averages, VWAP, whatever, but I mean, that's pretty clear. Like that's pretty distinct price action. Like if you're looking at this right here, and then you're looking at all of that right there. I mean, that's pretty clear, right? Like you can see where the support and the resistance is, and then extrapolate all the way back here, right? You got a descending triangle and an impulse move through. I mean, that was pretty clear, very clear level. Now, ultimately, it did not reject from there, but it did initially. But more times than not, like that, those levels tend to hold up. So that's where I probably would have exited had I taken a trade on Tesla, which I did not. I gave you the sauce. I did not take the trade. Let's be real. I did not. Again, benefit of hindsight. But I gave it to you. There's no doubt about it. Let's get rid of all that stuff. All right, well, we can get rid of that. Had your good call of the day there. That's Tesla. Let's see. What are we looking at now? Let's look at Tesla now. Yeah, I wouldn't take a long right here. I wouldn't take a long right here. Obvious reasons, right? You got a clear horizontal, you got a trend line, you got confluence between the two. You're gonna wait for a breakout here. You want to see a breakout retest before you look for that continuation. I don't know if the trend line will hold up. I don't know if it comes back, retest the horizontal there, but anywhere in this area, that's what you're going to be looking for in terms of, do we see continuation of the upside? Maybe right there. Even then, you don't have a lot of volume. Really, this is more probable. Seeing something like this. It's kind of your first stop, down, retest, continuation up. I don't think that's a big move. Let's see. About 5%. Ultimately about 5% move. But yeah, you want to see that breakout retest, continuation before you're taking a trade, at least a long position. But also with the understanding that right now you are at an area where there's resistance, which you could see is a move back down based on the trend you're seeing. So keep your eye on that one. Obviously, let it talk to you a little bit. Let it make its move before you get interested in a trade. Because yes, it can always go two ways. All right, what are we doing right now, Biddy? What are you doing? Give me anything interesting? No, you're not. Of course not. Come on, man. Come on down. Give me a chance here. Still got 2K. Yeah, whoever this is all over the place. They pushed their their move, or their order up. They're pushing it up, trying to get filled. And then somebody pulled about 1,000 worth off. Maybe they're not thinking it's going to come down. I don't know. All right, looking at CVD here on, let's go in the minute. That was a big drop. That's weird. That is not, it's definitely not where I drew that line at. I guess it is because it dropped through the line. Got it. Let's get rid of that. XRP. Yeah, I can look at XRP. Since Bitcoin's not playing nice, doesn't want to let me take any more trades today. Still got 2K down there. But trying to be smart about it. Like, I don't want to force a trade, right? Like, just because I'm live. I'm not going to force something just to make content. That's silly. But you did get a pretty harsh drop there. This is interesting. Look at this drop on CVD. Like from there to there. And you got a nice little bounce. Now you got open interest starting to work its way down. See the same thing here. It's a high volume area if I've seen it. Was this liquidity? Is that what the let's update this real quick. Nah. CBD. Let's go back real quick. Yeah, it was. Okay. All right, we'll look at XRP real quick. Looks nasty. We're all the way back down to $1. Or bounce off $1. $1.12. I mean, this is where it lived for a really long time. About 50 cents. And we got a breaker structure on the daily. That sucks. Trend is still massively bearish. That sucks. Yeah, a little bit of volume here. Let's look at it. We'll do a macro like fib retracement just to see. So it came down to the 0.786, which did align with some volume. That's probably why you got to bounce out of that level. Coming back left on the chart, just kind of see if you got any confluence there. You do got a little bit. You do have a little. Just looking at the price action, like between here and here. Let's actually, we'll put a little box on it. So you see how all that lines up? You have a bit of confluence, right? See how this stayed above? That was support. This was actually a breakout retest continuation. Kind of just messed around in that area, ultimately breaking down, retesting, and then going all the way down. So I mean that level is important. If you're looking for an area to like DCA, I would say down here at the 0.786 at about 117 makes a lot of sense. for a DCA. If you want to take that approach. Let me see here. Do smiley faces. Little smiley face there. And let's do another little smiley face. Little smiley face here. Down around, I'd say 53 cents. Be another spot. Bring your call spaces down the middle to about 84, 85. Also where the bottom of the platinum pocket is. But right now, it looks ugly, man. Look at that. And then we won't even count October 10th. Got a big push up, grab it. See, this is messed up. Like, this is true manipulation here. Where they push up, they trap longs, they take liquidity out, and then they just dump the shit out of it. This right here, this is disgusting. And I mean that in a bad way. Like, that's manipulation. That's messed up. Yeah, doesn't look great. I mean, to sit here and say, hey, there's a reasonable expectation of, upside potential would be just disingenuous, honestly. You got a nice bounce. Like I said, there were some technicals that aligned here for that bounce. But I would still look at probably about 161 or so. And just looking at some horizontals. Yeah. So you can see right here, top of this little range here, little pit stop, impulse move up. You had a nice little area of support. Coming all the way back left, you had resistance. I do see that as being a nice little spot. This is all simple TA then. This is not a deep dive. No fundamentals, no technicals. I mean, very loose technicals. But this is all easy stuff. Just looking at the horizontals, right? And why do I look at the horizontals on a larger time frame? Because they show you where price has been respected previously. Like, it shows you. And so a lot of times you'll see a reaction when you come down to those levels, or up to those levels in this case. So yeah, seeing a move back up to 160, it's probable, but right now it's not looking great. Like the price action is just like down and right. You had that one big bounce when someone bought Bitcoin. I think the US government bought Bitcoin at 60, which made all of the market pop back up. But that, that's, people are still offloading. So honestly, I would treat it until you see a turn in the market. This, like I said, down around $1.17 is probably a good spot where my happy faces are. And then back around 53 cents is a nice little spot. Just bring your call spaces down. Ride it out. DCA the exact bottoms. Yeah, I mean, if you're finding, right, that's the beauty. Like, if you're looking at a place that is projected to be a bottom and there's a reasonable expectation to go down there, like, there's no harm in putting a limit order around those levels, right? Especially if you see like a swing failure pattern, right? Or some kind of liquidity sweep, like, there's no harm. You may not get the exact bottom, but you can get pretty darn close a lot of times, by looking at some of these, macro levels when you zoom out a little bit. And that's kind of like, there's people talking about Bitcoin going down 70 to 75% based off, the 4-year cycle, right? Like, cool. Well, then I'm going to put something down here. I got something around 42 because there's a high volume area node. There's a naked POC. Right, so like I'm gonna put an order. That's what these little Bitcoin logos here. That's what they symbolize. Like I've already bought here, I'll buy here, and I'll buy here. And the projected bottom is, somewhere around 35. 35, maybe even as low as 30, which would make a lot of sense because of the high volume area and some of the horizontals. But, if it goes down there, maybe I'll buy some more. Who knows? Ultimately, what am I doing? I'm just driving my cost basis down. That's all. Just driving the cost basis down. And then where will I exit? I exit back up here. Even though if you were to project where is it going in the next cycle, you would project higher, right? Like you would say, hey, it's going to come down here and then it would go higher than where it is now. So, reasonable 155 or so, I think is very reasonable if you're projecting out where it could go. But, that's kind of how I'm treating it right now in this market. That's why I've been so actively with scalping, because I'm trying to make money. Ain't no Lambos, Mark. Remember, we do win golf cart. Win golf cart, bro. And I'm not getting a Lambo golf cart either, because that's cheesy. Maybe I'll have a helicopter, with rockets and stuff on the sides, on the pylons. Just looking mean. You guys ever seen what I used to fly? I mean, I still fly some stuff, but it ain't the same. This was my old whip. There she is. Just an absolute killing machine right there, man. That was my weekend driver. Actually, my daily. I call it my daily driver. Yeah, that's what I used to fly. Back in the day, baby. Shit's pretty cool. Good old days. Good old days. He's a beast, man. Look at that thing. Sick. Cool. Let's go back. You don't need that anymore. Don't need that anymore. That ain't gonna help you either. Let's go. You know what? I haven't looked at let's look at the Flexor Rect. See what we got going on. That's me. That's me. We got KLY in here. $3,000, a 30.89% move on a short. Let's go. That's a nice play. There's me again. Full transparency. I don't win them all, but I show you all the P&Ls, right? It's a big part of the game, being transparent. All right, here we go. What we got in here? Is this JR? It is. And then Crypto Squid in here with a $200 banger. Let's see what JR's got going. He's got a 43%, 102%, 63%, just crushing it. Let's go. Congrats, guys. All right, back over to Bitcoin. It's not. I don't think it's cooperating. I don't think we're gonna get it on the show today. But that's all right. You guys know what I'm looking for, right? You got this marked on your charts. Yep, it's back to 3,000. So I mean, you're looking at mark this on your charts. Do this. Mark it on your charts. I would do 68,400. Now, understand, not saying it's going to go there, but if it does, have that marked on your chart. Okay, $68,400. Mark it on your chart, have an alert, and then I want you to go to one of these terminals and take a look. See, right now, this is not good. The CVD is starting to work its way down. All right, CVD is working its way down. I don't know why Siri thinks it's okay to talk to me right now. Mind your business. All right, so CVD working its way down, not ideal. You would like to see that start to work its way up. You want to see a divergence. The divergence is actually, looks like it wants to push it down. Interesting enough. Very interesting. But anyways, you want to see the CVD working its way up when it comes down, interacts with this order block here. It's going to be quick though. So understand, like, you'll have to put a box down there and make it, it's going to be obviously smaller, right? Like, and you'll want to see a quick move up, and then you'll look for open interest to be spiking as well. And then that could be an opportunity. Could be an opportunity. You do want to see a reaction though. If you get an impulse move, what do I mean by impulse move? You get a big bodied candle Big body candle pushes through this zone. Do not mess with it, okay? If you get a wick, or if you see it just come to a screaming halt right here in this at this area, and you see CVD tick up and open interest tick up, then there could be an opportunity. All right, so that's what I'll say. Keep an eye on that. You could get a bounce out of that level. Now, if you go to the upside, this order's gone. This got filled, right? So it's kind of open. It's open. There's not an order block up here to kind of block your movement anymore, which there was this morning. So that's already played out, but this one has not, right? And I would argue that we take that arrow and we now move it here, because that is where the order sits. And you have that high volume area. So it'd make a lot of sense to come down here and tap-a-roo those orders and see a little bounce. So I'll be watching. Why does it adjust it? That is not how I drew it. I drew it all the way down here, and you just did what you wanted to do. Stupid. Makes me mad. Ooh, I can do path. Look at that. See, you learned something new. Let's go. There it is. Let's do a measurement. I just want to see what that looks like. Back up the high volume. So yeah, I'd probably only be looking to squeeze out maybe a 0.5 on this. So you're going to need leverage. So low capital, high leverage kind of play is what I'm looking at. That's kind of how I've been doing most of the scalps. But yeah, that's what I would be looking at. Let's do this. All right. Right here to the horizontal level. And then this would be a really tight stop. Oh, you can still get your 2-to-1 though. Yeah, you're good. Still gives you a little room there. Still get the 0.3%. You're just not going for the full 1% TP. You can get that, 0.5. I think that's realistic, to be honest with you. Let's make my colors better. Boom. Yeah, so mark that on your charts. I think that could be a quick scalp opportunity. So we've given you a couple setups today, at least, at a minimum. Weren't able to hop on any trades. I thought we might have an opportunity there. Again, there's that order block sitting there, 68, and we'll call it 68.4. Definitely something to keep an eye on here throughout the remainder of the night. Gave you a couple, I think, short setups for Bitcoin as well. I'll post those in the Discords. That'll be in Alex's and in mine. And if you guys enjoy the show or you learned something, go ahead and give me a like. Oh, look, man, I got the homies in here. I'm getting out of here. Bits of Wells in here. What up, dude? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Crank said he's long scalp. I'm waiting, Crank. I'm waiting, bro. I don't know how much you heard of what I was talking about, but I'm big on these order blocks as well as the CBD and the open interest. That's kind of how I've been kind of running my scalp game. Like I know you like kind of following some of the support and resistance levels, whether it be a channel or I know you like the 618 as well, kind of, follow a little bit of what you're doing. But I'm really big on, like if we got an order block like down here, and we'll kind of chat one day as well, because I think there's little things that you can always take away from each trader. But it's my trigger, dude. Like it's straight up, I come down to an order block, right? Like I know there's orders on the books. That's why I love this shit, because I know the orders are there. And if I see that buying come in and the volume come in, and I see the CVD tick up and I see the open interest tick up, right? It'll be pretty quick. You see those things all tip up in kind of correlation with each other, especially when I'm scalping. That's enough for me to pull a trigger. It's just a lot of times it's all about the exit, man, and not being too aggressive. Like for me, like when I get overzealous or over aggressive, I end up catching, an ass whipping, because the trend, will say, nah, I got something for you. You should have paid attention to me. And then it'll end up coming back to where I started. But if I get out quick, if I find these little levels, these horizontal levels, with both support and resistance, then, I'm in, out, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Not a big move. Like this one's only looking at like just over 0.5%. So it's very tight margins that I'm playing with right now. But like this one earlier is one I should have stayed in longer, because we had a very defined range. Like this is probably, I would not be surprised if you took a trade out of this one right here, because it was a defined range, looking for that rejection, stop loss right above, and you get all of that big risk to reward in there. So that just looks like a crank setup. And then something down here, I could see you taking a play off that as well. Again, defined range, bottom of the range, taking a long out of that would make a lot of sense with the way you trade. Only difference between, I won't say the only difference, I have kind of a little bit more in terms of like my entry criteria, in terms of looking at the CVD and the open interest as like that validation. Like, am I going to pull the trigger? If CVD and open interest say yes, then I go ahead and I pull the trigger, right? I just do like one more step in the process, we'll say. But yeah, man, definitely respect what you're doing, dude. I love watching you trade, man. I stop by and show you some love whenever I can. Bits, also amazing. So he's really, really good dude. Somebody I talked to in the background as well. So shout out to those two. If you guys aren't following them, please go follow them. They are actually legit. Let's pull them up here. Let's pull it up. Oh, Frankie's live. Oh. Is it? Did I get that right? There it is. So here's Crypto Crank's channel. Go ahead and sub to him. Matter of fact, let me drop that in the chat. There you go. There's Cranks, and then Bits of Wealth. He's another one. Really good. He's very similar to me, like in terms of like the way I traditionally trade with the did I spell that wrong, Bits? Oh, I guess I could just click your damn I could just click it. There you go. Let's post that one in there. Hey man, you gotta change your handle up here, man. Your generic ass handle. There you go. I'll put that in there as well. All right, cool. Go subscribe to those people, please. They're legit. They're actually trading. They actually know what they're talking about. So always about supporting people in the space that are for real. So I think Bits though, like he's got more of a platform on X. So you might want to check him out on X, to be honest with you. Like that's kind of where you'll get more Bits, man. So there you go. Yeah, look, yeah, he's got over 10,000 followers on X, man. Doing it big. He's working with Wolf as well. What is it? Yeah, Wolf Financial. There you go. So he does a lot of content with those guys as well. They're obviously pretty legit. Over 400,000 followers, which is crazy. One day, fam. Maybe I'll be there. But yeah, check out Bits. I think X is probably your better play for Bits. He puts a lot of content out there. He does a live stream as well. So, all right, cool. That's what I got, homies. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. Again, mark it on your charts. I think it was a 68.4. I think that's an area that you could probably see a balance out of for a multitude of reasons. Just let the candles talk to you though. Don't be too aggressive. Don't put a limit order there. Just make sure you get that buying pressure with some volume, CVD, OI, tick up, and trigger. All right, so that being said, I'm gonna get out of here. So thank you for tuning in. Much love to you guys. Again, like, subscribe, do the things that help out the channel, help me grow here. I would appreciate it. And check out 2Bit if you guys want to save 20% on your fees. I guess there was a trading competition going on. But big thing is TF Save 20 will get you 20% on your futures and your spot trading fees. And that is perpetual. That's forever. So lifetime of the account. All right, I'm out of here. Much love, guys. As always, trade safe, be safe. I'm out.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yeah, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go,